Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, we were just messing around with this AI that he just got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been seeing, like, AI has gotten, like, really good now.
Yeah.
You can pretty much, like, put a picture in and, like, make somebody do anything.
Yeah.
So we had an idea for the promo. Like, we do these little promos after the episode, but it can, like, make you into a samurai.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was
Okay,
pretty
yeah.
fire.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess where did the samurai thing come from? Samurai Shaolinn. You just...
It came from the anime Samurai Champloo.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was is it starting now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it came from Samurai Champloo. It's a cool anime that came out, I think, in like the early 2000s. It's like one of the best anime soundtracks ever. So like the king of lo-fi produced the soundtrack to that anime.
Who's the king of lo-fi? Or is that his name?
Well, yeah, he has like the title of like the king of lo-fi. His name is Nujabes. I don't want to mess it up. Nujabes, but he produced the whole Samurai Champloo soundtrack, and he's like the reason why lo-fi like kind of skyrocketed.
Became popular?
Yeah, like became
Really?
popular.
Look
Yeah.
at that guy. That's a show right there. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
shampoo. Is that Champloo?
Champloo, yeah.
Champloo. Hey, Karen, you can also close that window too, bro. Yeah, look up the king of lo-fi. I guess really when I found out about lo-fi is just one of those, you know, like those cat videos on YouTube. It'll be like a 10-hour video, but it'll just be like a cat studying or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there'll just be like lo-fi
like the
music
lo-fi
playing.
girl studying. Yeah. The lo-fi girl blew up like when I was in high school. So about like 5-6 years ago. Something like that.
I'm into
Yeah.
lo-fi. Pretty much for all like promos, like I was just saying, for the episodes, I'll use like lo-fi music, but I'll just use like the one that's on Instagram, just like find a sound.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. Chill little vibe. Type in the king of lo-fi. Let's see what this dude looks like.
Yeah, it's Nujabes. Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's gonna be like a Japanese guy.
He is.
He is? Okay.
Yeah. He's the reason why like lo-fi, like people call him like the king of lo-fi. And he's like the reason why I kind of like
Let me read a bit of his Wikipedia. What does it say? Zoom in on that. June Seba. What does it say? What's his name?
I think it's Seba.
Seba.
Yeah, something like that.
Better known as his stage name Nujabes.
Yeah, Nujabes, I think.
Was a Japanese record producer, audio engineer, DJ, composer, and arranger, best known for his atmospheric instrumental mixes, sampling from hip-hop, soul, and jazz, as well as incorporating elements of trip-hop, breakbeat, down-tempo. It's crazy how many, like, sub-genres of music there is.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. Like, I did an episode with this dude of Ryan Celsius in D.C. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
He has like a... Well, actually, no. You released a song with him. The one with you in Full Metal, Mob Psycho.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, why does his name sound familiar?
Yeah, he has like really interesting music. Like I learned about funk with him, and like there's a few different like little genres that he's on.
Yeah, he's dope.
Bro, that Mob Psycho shit is still fire. I was actually just listening to that earlier.
Really?
When you in Full Metal, I remember when that came
Yeah.
out. That was like 2022, I think.
Yeah, it was really fun making that song when Full Metal Jerry, when he hit me up, he saw that I was an anime fan, and we were kind of talking about it, and he was asking me like, what's my favorite anime, like my top 5, and we were kind of like diving into it, and I told him that Mob Psycho was my favorite anime, and he was like, you know, he agreed. He was like, yeah, I love Mob Psycho. And we were like, okay, let's make a song about it. So he had sent me the beat with his verse with his hook. And it was just so easy to do because we both kind of like just got into that bag because we both have a love for anime. So it was really cool and fun doing that with him. And it was my first time doing a song like that. So it was really, really fun to do. And it's like my only hype song that I have.
Yeah, a lot of your stuff is more like slow, like some singer type stuff. I was never really, I guess, super big into anime. I loved Dragon Ball Z growing up. And I think I watched Samurai Jack a lot. back in
I'm
the day?
actually starting Samurai Jack.
Just
And
now
a lot
starting
of people were like, "What? Like you never watched Samurai Jack?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I never seen it ever." And I started watching it recently actually. I'm on like season 3. So
Really?
it's really dope.
I don't remember
I've been
anything
sleeping
about
on
it.
it.
You have what? You've been sleeping on it?
Yeah, it came
Yeah.
out when I was born though,
When were you born?
2001.
Okay.
Yeah. So it came out early 2000s, so that's why.
Yeah, I don't really remember anything about it. I just remember like he wore like the wooden sandals, right?
Yeah.
And then like when we were coming up like elementary school, like all we did was draw like supercars and Dragon Ball Z, but they were like fake cars that don't even we think we really knew what cars look like that. So we're just drawing like these dream cars, but they just look cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So okay, so you're into anime. Maybe we could back up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was on your Instagram earlier and kind of seen that like your music career, as far as it being documented online, from what I see, it started in like 2019.
Yeah,
You
when
were
I was
just
18.
So you were doing like these freestyle, just kind of singing into the camera, uploading those on Instagram, picking up traction, kind of just still going, performing, making music.
Yeah.
I know now you're signed to Airwave, which I want to get into that. Like, first of all, what's going on with Airwave? Like, I feel like we haven't heard much from them.
Yeah.
But maybe we could just take us back to those days, like 2019, getting into music. You're doing these freestyles. What was what was life like at that time?
So I was getting out of high school, graduated, kind of in that span of last year in high school and graduating. The freestyling kind of just came from, I remember, so I used to write poems a lot and like stories a lot, like short stories, and I drew a lot. I don't post my art though, but I drew a lot, and I felt like that was a lot of where my self-expression was in the beginning. And then the poems kind of sort of turned into songs, and it started when finding actually lo-fi beats on YouTube for free. Like when lo-fi beats, like lo-fi type beat was becoming popular on YouTube, like early in high school. And I remember kind of just trying to write a song on them and it being cool, very it was like, my writing skills wasn't peak back then, so it was very like one track minded writing. And I remember actually what started my freestyling was I was dating an ex at the time in high school, and I remember showing him my songs, and he was like, I was like, hey, how do you feel about this? And he was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like all your stuff sounds the same. And when he said that, at first I was like, how could you say that? That's like so mean, da 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 da. But then I was like, after he said that and I was like listening to the songs and like continuing to write songs, I was like, dang, I really am like using the same words, the same melodies. And I was like, I just need to just do it. So then being around one of my best friends, Barry, he freestyles as well. He does battle rap and stuff. He kind of inspired me to do the freestyling, and that as well from my ex inspired me to really just be like, okay. And I was really bad at first. It took a lot of time and a lot of embarrassing moments for me to actually like be able to make songs back to back to back without having to write them. So
Was the like substance of these songs you're making in the beginning, were they like similar to your poems, or was it like this whole other thing? Like were you telling the same stories as you were like in poem form?
Yeah, it was. I feel like my poems were more emotional, and I think my songwriting at the time was just very like
You said one track minded. What does that mean?
like I don't know if that's the correct term, but it was just more so like it was just a very like I was taking the same approach, like the same writing process, the same words. It was very like shallow, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot going on lyrically in my music in the beginning. not outside of the stuff that I had put out, I actually wrote a lot that has not been released, and I freestyled a lot that has not been released. So I have a lot of music in the vault that'll probably never see the light of day, only because like I'm very picky and like I need things like at a specific thing, and sometimes certain melodies sound better on a different beat or sung a different way, and I don't like a lot of things like coming out. So I'm also very picky about that too.
Yeah, I noticed you haven't really dropped anything, I think, since 2022.
Yeah, I haven't put out any music for almost, like 3 years almost.
Almost 3 years. Your last, like you did a few singles in 2022. I think you did an EP in 2021.
Yeah.
I wrote down it was called Blackstone. I do want to get into that. So this boyfriend at the time kind of gives you this critique of your music.
Yeah.
Says that it all sounded the same.
I was 16 when he said that. Well, I was 16, 17. I started freestyling when I was like 18, 19. And the lo-fi genre was getting really, really popular when I was getting out of high school. But I was still trying to write songs when I was like 16, 17. And I didn't put anything out until I was 18 years old, I think. But I was still writing prior to that. And yeah, he was basically the one that kind of was like, your stuff sounds the same. And I was just like, dang, like, what the hell? I was hurt at first, but then I was like, I get it though.
So he like pushed you to like be self-reflective of your music.
For sure.
And I know in the beginning, well, first of all, I feel like in the beginning when most people start making music, like you're pretty much doing stuff that like sounds like stuff that you've heard. Because I think that's how everybody starts. Then if you keep going, you eventually like find your own style.
Yeah.
And you're like able to really get creative. That's what I noticed for the most part, people in the beginning just kind of make stuff that sounds like stuff they like.
Yeah. Yeah. In high school, I was very into like EDM. I really liked
based off the music you make now, I wouldn't think you're into EDM.
Oh yeah, I love EDM. Dubstep, all that stuff. And then I also, grew up on R&B, but then I also grew up on rap as well. So I was like shown to a lot of different genres of music growing up. And especially like going into like early middle school, or not early, late middle school, early high school years. I was very into bands like 21 Pilots and stuff like that. And I loved like all the anime edits on Vine and how they would have the like trip hop music up there on the anime edits. And then they would have like a whole bunch of synth wave music and stuff. And I just loved all of that, dubstep and everything. So I feel like I was very simple with my writing, because a lot of like the EDM and the dubstep and all that stuff, they kind of say one line and they like echo the voice or they reverb it, and then it's like the beat drops, then it's the one line again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like EDM is more the music than like the vocals.
Yeah, so I feel like that's where my kind of why I was like writing and using the same words, because I was listening to a lot of like more of musical songs than lyrical songs when I was getting into high school. So yeah.
Did you go to college after?
No, I went when I graduated. I pursued music like entirely, and I did shows. I actually did shows with Barry, my best friend, and him and his friend Alex at the time, they had their own little like local label, and we would do like these shows at this like gaming lounge, and he would like overprice them or overcharge them, so we never made money.
Overcharge who?
Barry and Alex. They never made money off of it. He was sketchy, but it was whatever.
Oh,
like
the owner of
the gaming lounge, yeah. And we were just like a couple of like graduated high school kids that just wanted to make music and perform.
Was there people like out there to see you guys? You had like a little fan base at the time?
Yeah, we had a nice little fan base. It was really dope. But yeah, it was really cool. And then after that, I did the Revolt Summit. So that kind of was sorry. Mm-hmm.
If you move, you can feel free to move this however.
Okay. Yeah. Do you need it like right here? Yeah, okay, cool. But basically like after high school, I had went to the Revolt Summit in Atlanta with Chris, the biggest music convention.
What year is this?
2019.
Okay.
I was 18, I think, or 19. 2018 or 2019. But this is kind of where like my like I guess not clout, but exposure. This is like kind of where my exposure came from. Cause we were supposed to go. We were just going to just see the people, because I think there was a certain artist, they would sit around and do the group session interviews during the Revolt, and he wanted to go there. And I remember when we were there, he said it was a convention, so I'm thinking it's like a cool music convention, like people are like dressed up and it's like there's gonna be cool ass like little gigs and shows. No, it was just a regular like cool artist music convention. It was cool, but it wasn't like how I envisioned it in my mind. So I was a little like bummed out, but it was still dope. But then,
so wait, what was actually happening at this Revolt Summit?
Basically it was like concession stands of like just like a little bit of concession stands of just like I guess labels or something. And then there was like the sit around. I don't want to call it a TED talk, but it was kind of like that. Like they would have like 4 or 5 artists, like known artists on the panel, and they would just sit down with each other and just talk to the audience, and the audience would like just watch them, and if they wanted to like have crowd participation, they would. But there was that year actually was the auditions for the Revolt Summit, so that was we didn't even know about that when we were going there. We were just going there to just look at the interviews. So when we were there, there was like 5 long lines to the stands, and there were like 5 boxes, and each box had like 3 A&Rs, like 3-4 A&Rs, and people were there and they were signing up, and they were signing up to audition to be in the summit. So Chris was just kind of like, let's just like sign up. Like, why not? You know, we're already here. We didn't know about it. We were in like one of the 4 or 5 lines, and there was a paper, and I was like the 140th person on that paper. So there were like hundreds of people that were signing up, already had signed up, everything. And I was like, there's no chance that I'm going to even be able to audition, because they were saying that it was ending in an hour. And I was like, yeah, there's no chance. And then a lady named Mercedes, who was running the whole event, I remember she had came out and she was like, who here sings? And then Chris was like, she sings. And everybody just went, and just looked at me like all the lines. And I was like, yeah, I sing, you know, me with my little braces. Like, I was shy, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on. I was just here just to be there. And then she's like, okay, sing. So I sung a song.
Right there in the line?
In the line. She was like, came up to me, she said, sing. And I sung one of my songs. And then she was like, okay, you're good. Stand right here. I'm gonna take this picture of you. Wait to go in the box. I said, okay. She took a picture of me. I didn't hear what she said, so I just walked into the box. So I opened the door, and someone's auditioning, like mid-auditioning, and I fucked up their audition, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And it was like 4 A&Rs, and one of them was Kawan Prather, Pharrell's A&R, Pharrell's manager. Okay. One of them was him, and another one was named Yancey, I think, or something like that. I haven't talked to that guy in years, but there was like 4 A&Rs, and I remember cutting off that audition, and they all looked at me, and I closed the door, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to walk in there. So they were like, okay, it's your turn. So I went in, and then I performed my songs, and they were like, yo, you're dope. Like, I don't know if, they were saying like they didn't even know if they even wanted to like put me on the list as like one of the people to pick, because they didn't want people to take me or whatever. Like, they were like, they were like offering me stuff. I'm not saying who, because it was 4 of them, but I was getting like offers and everything.
Like
and
label or like record label?
like label offers, like
deals?
offers and deals. And Mercedes, I remember when I had left the box, I was not feeling well. It was hot as fuck. I was not feeling well. And I remember sitting down and like had my head in my knees and like some random spot by like food vendors. And a guy came out to me and he gave me some water and he was like, I hope you feel better. Some random dude. And I was like, thank you so much. And then I pick up the phone. I'm getting a call and I pick up the phone and Mercedes called me. She said, I made it to the top 5. And she was basically telling me that she told them not to do that, like to let me go on, right? Let me audition. So I made it to the top 5. Mind you, this is just some random side quest that me and Chris were doing. We didn't even plan on doing this.
You were there just to watch the interview.
We were there just to watch the interview. And now I'm going on TV to perform and win.
Is this the following year? Or
This is the same day.
Same, okay.
In one day. Like this is all in one day. And so I made it to the top 5. So they told me to meet them on the main stage in the back with all the rest of the artists. So I meet all of them, and 2 of them I remember because I followed them. They were really dope. One of them was a rapper, and another one, he was also a rapper as well. They were both sick as hell. And I remember like just talking to them and being so nervous. And then they all went up. And I was the last person to go up. I wasn't even dressed for the occasion. Like my hair was a mess. I had dirty, like dingy ass, like khaki joggers on, like a nasty, like, oh no, sorry. A nasty, like used, like polo sweater that I thrifted. And like, I don't even
ketchup stains on her shirt.
Yeah, like I looked dingy and I had my braces. So I just walk up.
They were like, is she homeless?
Exactly. And I remember like walking on stage and then I did my song. And then I remember like the crowd was like, ah, you know what I mean? Like they loved it. And then I remember Remy, she was one of the judges. It was Remy the
Remy
Dream.
Ma?
Yeah, Remy the Dream, Andre Hero.
Is there a video of this also?
There might be.
Revolt Summit 2019. Was it Atlanta?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You'll find it.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
So Remy, so you're on stage. Mm-hmm. You're in the top 5. Well, first of all, how much of your song did you sing in the line?
The whole song.
Everybody just staring at you.
I did my whole song.
Girl in the back like, I sing too, like, pick me.
Oh, wait, you said what?
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, you said how much of the song did I sing when
like
they asked me?
when she got you in line to sing your song, did you get through the whole song or was it like a few bars?
I did like a hook.
You got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, okay, that's good.
So they put you in the top 5. You get on the stage. You're doing the song. Remy Ma is there, The Dream. Who else is the
Andre Hero.
Okay.
And Black's manager. I don't know his name.
Oh, Black, like 6 Black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black's manager.
Is this it right here? Young, talented, and ready. Revolt Summits, Be Heard, contest winner, Shaolinn. Oh, so you won.
I did.
Let's get to that. We didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah.
We'll read that. We'll read that in a second. That's the story. Okay.
So yeah. So
you can leave it up. We'll get to it in a sec.
So yeah. So I was performing the song, and what's crazy is like. Yeah, so I was doing the song and then I finished it and then everybody was like, what? You know what I mean? Like they loved it. I was getting like round of applauses. Like people were chanting my name. It was crazy. Like I never experienced that. Mind you, like this was literally like not the plan. This all happened in less than half, like it all happened in half a day. Like it was just like a fever dream. Like it all happened so fast. And then I remember like after I did the song, Remy was like, can you sing the song again? Like sing the hook again. But like off a cappella. So I sung the hook and the whole audience was clapping like to me singing the hook. And then I was like, I'd never experienced this before. I was just very happy. And then I got off stage and I remember getting off stage and they were chanting my name. And then I remember coming back on stage with the rest of the people who auditioned, and the host was like, all right, we're gonna like pick, the judges are gonna do the thing and we're gonna pick the winner. And mind you, they're still chanting my name. So I'm just standing there like, what is happening? Like, I'm literally just standing there like, what is happening? And the host was like, all right, y'all already know who won. It's Shaolinn. So I was like, ah. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? Like,
what song did you sing? Is this song out?
Yeah, it was Overthrown.
Okay.
It was one of my earlier singles that was sampled, that I actually didn't know was sampled from Billie Eilish's song. So I probably will get copyrighted for that
It's
shit.
like a YouTube beat?
Yeah.
So I guess your friend that you were with, Chris, he didn't even get to audition.
My manager.
Your manager.
Yeah. So it was just me and him, and we drove to Atlanta. It was like how far is Atlanta from here?
Like 6-7 hours?
Yeah, it was like a 6-7 hour drive.
Off a whim, though.
Off a whim, just to be there.
They were really probably like, yo, let's get this girl a chance. She might be sleeping outside in her car or something, looking homeless. Pull that back up. Let's see what's said in the article. Young, talented, and ready. Revolt Summit's Be Heard contest winner Shaolinn got next. Zoom in on that a little bit. Don't be surprised if she's headlining a homecoming near you in the future. Shaolinn is zoom in a little more, already making waves in the industry and inspiring others to be their whole authentic selves, no matter what others think. She got the signature Gen Z streetwear style down. Like what? Her dyed locks and ever-present skateboard. Oh, you got a skateboard with you?
I
at the
told
audition?
them that I longboard. So when they said skateboard, I said, "Oh,
damn,
I longboard."
That's crazy. We got home on campus. At just 20 years old, Shaolin's pop and jazz infused sound and deeply personal lyrics may just make her the next R&B superstar.
Ooh, that's a reach.
Okay, let's go down a little more. That's interesting. While being raised by a single mother in Virginia Beach, Shaolinn, who is multi-ethnic, found herself dealing with feelings of loneliness, isolation, and identity issues.
Yeah.
She turned to poetry and music as a creative escape, ultimately finding that music to help her heal and find inspiration even in the darkest times. Mm-hmm. When did they find out all this information about you? Was there like an interview they did with you after this?
I did do an interview.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like at a high for like after I won the Revolt Summit, Pharrell flew me out to his studio.
Really?
That was my first flight.
Where's his studio?
In Florida. Yeah, he flew me out to his studio. And I have a story for him too that's crazy as well.
What is it?
So when he flew me out, so I already knew, I knew about Pharrell, but not in like the musical sense. And from what I was told by a lot of people, he was best friends with my dad in high school.
Really?
I don't know my dad. I've never met him in my life. But he was best friends with my dad in high school. And that was just from what I was told.
Did he tell you that?
From what I was told. He didn't tell me that.
Okay.
So when I went to his studio and I was showing him, I was there for like 5-6 hours. I remember he asked me, he's like, what do you want to eat? I said, you can give me some like McDonald's. He was like, we don't eat that. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, we don't eat that. Here's a menu. Pulled out a whole menu for me. I was like, I'll just taste some chicken tenders and fries.
What, do you have a chef in the studio or?
I think. I don't know.
The food just like magically appeared?
I don't know. He just handed me a menu. He was like, you can get anything on this. And I was like, I'll just say, I was nervous. I don't eat when I'm nervous because I get anxious and I start to like fart and stuff and I can't be doing that. Yeah. So I was like, I can't eat a lot. So I'm going to just take some chicken tenders and fries. And I remember being in the studio and talking to him, sitting down with him and stuff. And I remember being like, by the way, you were best friends with my dad in high school. And he was like, who's your dad? I was like, Larry Uzzle. Because, my name is Shaolinn Uzzle. So I was like, Larry Uzzle. And he was like, wait, that's your dad? And I was like, that's my dad. And then he pulls up his laptop and goes on Facebook and pulls up a picture of my dad and turns the laptop to me and says, this is him. And I was like, yeah, that's my dad. And he was like, what in the world? Like his whole mind was blown. And he was like, the world is so small. Like that's crazy that like his daughter's in my studio. And that's just kind of like where his mind was. And then for the rest of the day, I was just showing him my songs and stuff. It was really dope.
I'm assuming his man or like the guy that was in the box, that was his
Kawan
manager,
Prather,
told him about you.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about like Virginia at all in this session?
We did. In the session, no. We were just kicking it. I was just showing him my stuff. I showed him voice memos, ideas that I had. We were talking and I asked him how it was producing for Ariana Grande's album. Like, how was that? And he was like, it was really dope, da-da-da-da. And then they told me a fun fact about Happy. And they said that they actually pitched that song to CeeLo Green. And CeeLo Green was like, nah, like this song, nah. I'm not doing this song. And then
it might have not really been a good fit for CeeLo.
Yeah. And then Pharrell sung it and then it blew up.
Yeah, I think that's the one he did like a 24-hour music video for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Despicable Me. 'Cause I'm happy.
I think it was on that movie, but I think there was a 24-hour video of just like a bunch of people dancing to it from around the world, right?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, type that in, Karen. Type in Happy 24-hour video.
Kind of like the Harlem Shake vibes.
I'm not sure. Actually. Let's just see what was actually happening in this 24-hour video. And also after this, go back to that site. See if there's a video of her auditioning on there. Is it the actual YouTube video 24 hours long? But what is it, though? What's happening? Are people dancing? 12 p.m. Pharrell. Just go to one of them. Let's see what's happening in them. I want to say it's just people just like from around the world dancing to it. You go to like the middle of the video. You can turn it down.
Oh.
Nice.
Ready Rice.
Ben's original Ready Rice just got a free promo. Crack an egg into the bag of rice? Okay. That was kind of weird. Keep going. Yeah, this is what I saw like on social media at the time. It was just people like dancing and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool,
it's his biggest song, I think, still.
I think so. So they try to get it to CeeLo.
Yeah.
He had a few stories like that. In his movie, I watched it, the
Lego
Piece by
movie?
Piece.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few songs that like people didn't want that he ended up doing, and it was like major hits.
Yeah.
How did that feel though? So you win this audition.
Mm-hmm.
He flies you out to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, this is probably only like 3 years of you like making music, right?
Yeah.
How did that
Literally.
feel? Like you came back home, and like what was it like then?
It was
Also, was it real chicken tenders? Was it like hand breaded tenders?
It was like
You know they have like
ooh,
fake tenders.
I ain't
also,
have
so
fake tenders. Like it was like
Real
you
tenders.
know how like you could tell when it's like breaded and stuff, and it's a little like brown, like dark brown.
Crispy.
You know what I mean? Crispy. You know what I mean? You get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah,
fake
it
tenders
was-
piss me off. I'm like,
yeah.
bro, what are y'all doing, man? I could
Yeah.
have went to Walmart and got this.
Yeah, it was really good.
So you're out there for 5 to 6 hours in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Did you stay out and like explore Florida for longer than that, or did you like go home right after that?
I think we went home after that. I think we were only there for like a day or two. My memory's very foggy, so it's like I remember like certain moments, but not like in great detail, you know? But I remember going to Kawan Prather's house and meeting his wife in his home, and we were sitting down, we were just talking.
Is that the
And it was
guy
really
who's
dope.
his manager?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was like really dope. It was cool. It was a experience that I enjoyed a lot, and I'm very grateful for it. And it's really cool to say that my first flight was to Pharrell's studio, you know? So
Getting flued out by Pharrell is crazy. Like, come on.
a little flex, subtle flex.
So you get back to the city after that.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do then?
So it was very like,
Did it feel like pressure now? It's like, damn, like I gotta now. How do I beat this moment? Like, what's the next thing?
it wasn't even pressure. It was more like, I don't think I really soaked it in as much as I should have. Like, I think it all happened so fast. Like the Revolt Summit, and then just even like Pharrell's studio. I think I was trying like to like, especially at Pharrell's, I think I was trying too hard to impress him that I wasn't really enjoying the fact that I was just here vibing with an artist, you know, like a major artist and producer. And I think I was just like too much in my head. And I feel like if I just would have been like, yo, you're cool, it doesn't matter. Like, you're cool, just be you, then I would have like enjoyed it a lot more. So I definitely like, I love the experience. I just wish that I soaked it in better, you know?
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking, but that's like in hindsight, thinking about like how it could have been better, how it could have went better.
Mm-hmm.
Was there like music recorded in those sessions?
No, we were just showing each other music. They were working on a song that they were sending to some artist. I don't remember, but it was really dope. He had like co-producers there, and they were like doing one thing layer, and then they would rotate, and then the next producer would just add another layer, and they just kept rotating in and out. So it was really cool.
So this is like 2019, 2020, right?
Yeah, this is, I think, the same year as Revolt, if not like maybe a couple months after.
Okay.
It wasn't that far apart, I don't think.
So is after this when you came back and started working on the Blackstone EP?
Yes, I think. Actually, was it Blackstone or was it Oh Me? I think it was Blackstone. Yeah, because I did Blackstone when I had met Push. Yeah. So this is when I was like working. I wasn't really working on an EP. I wasn't working towards anything. I was just doing what I was always doing, just making music every day, freestyling every day, and just gathering songs, going to the studio as much as I can. And then it was just kind of put together with Chris. And then it was like, okay, well, we have to put out music because people are waiting for this now, you know? Like, you did a lot. We need to, you know, keep it going. So that's kind of what that was. For me, I didn't really have an idea. It was just there, and then the idea just kind of flourished, and then it ended up being Blackstone, which I'm actually very happy for that EP and just that name in general.
Yeah, what does Blackstone mean?
It was the street that I grew up on for my last 2 years of high school, or year of high school. I was on the court Blackstone on Mariners Cove by Lynn Haven. And a lot happened just in that time. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. And I felt like when I had moved, a part of me, I was kind of leaving behind, but also taking with.
Where did you move to?
After that, I moved to Chesapeake for a year.
From Virginia Beach?
But it was just more so like poetic and like symbolic wise of like just everything that had happened over the year, like Revolt and everything. But then also, you know, the negative feelings and stuff in high school and just being a teenage girl, you know what I mean? So it was just a lot of like that. And I felt like I was feeling those ups and downs very strongly around that time. So I felt like Blackstone kind of described that.
What were some of these, I guess, negative feelings from high school?
So a lot of it, well, obviously the main thing was insecurity. A lot of it was insecurity. I was not comfortable with myself and just like who I was as a person. Like, I genuinely felt like for years that I hated myself deeply, to the point to where that I hated everything around me. And I was just a very like angry person for a long time. And I feel like a lot of that stemmed from just the insecurity. And I, just sometimes, getting judged for like how skinny I was and stuff like that, and how my hair looked, and like, just getting made fun of and everything, like even before my braces, like getting made fun of for my teeth and stuff. So it was just like a lot of things in the outside environment that affected me a lot. And then like at home, it was very like lonely, I guess. So I just didn't like who I was, and I didn't like myself in anywhere I was at. It didn't matter where I was. I just didn't want to be there. And that's kind of like how I felt for so many years. And that's why for me, like the revolt and everything, like all of those accomplishments, after that, I feel like I really didn't soak in because I never really did that my whole life. Not really sit back and really take it all in. So I felt like if I did, I would have been like really patting myself on the back, like, damn. Like
that's a cool accomplishment.
Yeah, like you really did that. And I don't think I did that. And I didn't do it enough.
So even doing like all this cool stuff, are you like still feeling that same level of insecurity like as high school? Like how did you find yourself like overcoming these insecurities?
Trial and error, a lot of loss, having a lot of friends that I was cool with, losing a lot of good people because of my actions, because of my insecurities, losing a lot of relationships because of that, and just always like being in situations where people as a person knew that I was talented, they knew that I was dope, but like as like a friend, as like a lover or whatever, a partner, it was just potential, you know? And I feel like when people were seeing me as someone that could potentially be cool, you know, potentially be a patient friend or any of that, I really started to realize like, yo, I need to stop like pushing people away, and I really need to face this, because the biggest problem that I had was people telling me what was up and me just being like, well, this is who I am, accept it, you know? Or people telling me like, hey, I can't do this anymore. And then me being like, well, that means you don't love me. And it was a very like, you know, I had that mindset for a long time, especially when I was a teenager. And it was just very, very, very toxic, very going nowhere, you know, mentally and emotionally. I felt like I was a draining friend, and I didn't want to be that anymore.
That's probably hard to admit. I don't think a lot of people would admit that about themselves. And that just probably just takes a lot of self-reflection and getting more mature to like really realize that.
Yeah.
Did you circle back and like become friends again with these friends that you lost like during those times?
Some of them, no. Some of them were cool. Like, if I see them as like, hey, what's up? You know, like it's no bad blood. It's very much like, I hope you're doing good, vice versa. But I don't think that even for me, I would circle back, because that's a chapter in my life that I don't want to go back to, whether it's my fault or not. I just feel like there's no reason, you know? Like it's not me saying like, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? I'm better now. So, you know, it's not that. It's just like, even though I have grown as a person, it doesn't mean that I should come knocking back on your door. You know what I mean?
Sometimes also like old friends, it can be hard for them to like allow you to grow or see the growth in you. Like there's been a few people in my life that like I was really good friends with like in high school and coming up, but it's like got to a point where I felt like I wasn't becoming like who I was supposed to be. So like I'm like forcing myself to go on this new path, which I feel like is my path I'm supposed to be on. But then like the people that know me from my old path, like they can't see me in that light. So it starts feeling like I need to step away
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to see myself as this new thing I want to become, but like you can't see it. So it's like holding me back from seeing myself as that.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely like felt like I was holding people back. And I felt like I was holding myself back because I felt for so long that I relied that I could love other people without loving myself. And I stood so strongly on that mindset for so many years, and it affected so much of my relationships and even the relationship with myself. And all I needed to do was literally just shut the fuck up and just take some time to myself and just understand myself and love myself. And it took so long to do that. Like being comfortable just looking at myself in the mirror, you know, with clothes or without clothes on, and like being okay with that. Or like looking at myself and wearing a shirt that's showing my wrist, and because, you know, I have skinny wrists, and being okay with that, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to not, like, I was so uncomfortable in my skin and I hated myself so much that like every day I would just wear nothing but hoodies and sweatpants. It didn't matter how hot it was. It didn't matter the weather, nothing. Like no one would see my skin, no one would see my body, and the only time they did was at gym, and that was it. And it was like, for me, I was in that mindset for so many years, and it got to a point to where there was just a moment where I was like, I need to stop doing this. Like I'm literally passing out because I'm wearing a hoodie with a long sleeve, with joggers, with shorts underneath.
Actually
and
legit passing out?
Yeah, like literally like lightheaded, like faint, tired, weak, like feeling weak because I'm just like forcing myself to wear these clothes at like in like 80, 90 degree weather, walking to school, going outside like that. And it was like, why am I doing that to myself? Because I'm scared of how my wrists look. Like for, you know what I mean?
I can't imagine. Guys go through it too, but I know it's much worse for girls. Like how they look at themselves, how they compare themselves to like the girls in the magazines or whatever. I know it's always been like that. I mean, I know girls like my whole life that felt that way, but I know it's gotten way worse in today's time with like social media, and like I think the suicide rate of like teens has went up a lot. Even like since COVID, like people got like even less socialized, being at home by themselves. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of like depression and anxiety and people dealing with stuff like that as you were dealing with.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. It was it's hard, and it's one of those things that you can't have people tell you that it's okay. You literally just have to.
Gotta go through it.
You have to go through it until one day you wake up and then it's okay. Or you go, okay, it needs to start being okay. And for me, it didn't matter how many compliments I was getting, because the compliments didn't outweigh.
They're like, your wrist looking thick as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
thick
girl, your wrist look thick, girl. Like, what you mean? Your hair looks good. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't matter because all I saw was it's not. Like, it's not.
But also, that's the thing, too. Like, I think they call it, is it body dysmorphia?
Yeah.
Where, like, you can be already, like, okay, like, for girls that, like, feel like they're fat, or if somebody feels like they're fat, they'll, like, whatever, not eat. Now they might take Ozempic, different drugs. But, like, you may be, you may legit be really skinny, but, like, in your mind, you look fat.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like you're fat, but you're actually skinny.
Yeah.
That's a thing, too. Like, where you can't really see yourself for, like, what you really are.
Yeah. You just see the flaws.
You see the flaws, which we all have them. Like, it gets to a point for me. I mean, I've gone through that. Everybody goes through that. But it gets to a point where it's like, what's the fucking point?
Exactly.
I can't control this shit. Like, and I have things I want to get done in my life, and it's making it hard to focus on these things because I'm focusing on this dumb shit.
Exactly.
And you just get tired of it. It's like,
oh, yeah. And I woke up and I was tired of it. I was like, I wasted so many years caring about what, you know, caring about what? Like, just
Caring
put a
about
fucking t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. So
You
you're
know?
coming up, you're doing poetry, you're drawing. Your boyfriend tells you at the time that your songs sound the same.
Yeah.
Off a whim, you go to this Revolt Summit, get on it, you win. Pharrell flies you out, you get back, you start working on Blackstone, you feel like I gotta start dropping music. Is this around the time you meet Push? Like, how'd you meet him? How did you get linked up with Airwave?
So
Were you the first artist on Airwave?
no, I wasn't.
Oh, it's probably that Kareek dude, Karee 1K, I think, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just heard there was a couple of artists who were an artist before me. But yeah, I actually met Push. Well, I was doing shows and still doing a lot of local shows, and his people actually came and saw me like locally at one of my shows, and it was just word of mouth to him. And Push at the time moved back to Norfolk, and I remember he told me that what kind of set the deal for him wanting to meet me was his wife told him about me, and she was like, you need to check her out, like she's really dope, like she's, you know, popping locally and stuff, so you should like check her out. And he did, and then he called us up. He called us up, and we met at a club at like the second floor, and we took a picture. That was like just us meeting.
Is that the one on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Pull that up too.
Well, I'm like smiling, and I'm like,
going, but I DM it to you, Karen.
Yeah, we just meet there, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm Push." I was like, "Hey, I'm Shao." That was kind of it, and then it was like, "Okay, see you around." And then after that, we kind of, it was like, okay, cool, it died down. And then we linked again at one of my engineer studios.
This picture right here?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Or I'm cheesing. And I meet at one of my engineer studios, and we're sitting down, we're talking, and I show him Blackstone, and he listens to it, and he was like, Heavy Heart is the one. Like, he loved Heavy Heart so much. And he was like, I want you to sign this, da da da. Like, I want you to be with Airwave. Like, I want to be a part of this EP. It was really dope. And then after that, which is crazy because I was 19, I think, when this happened. When was the photo of when we were smiling?
Does it say the date? Go
yeah,
back.
it should say the date.
On that post?
It should. May 13th, 2022? Is that when?
That's when you posted this, but I think it was actually before this post.
Yeah.
Might have been 2021.
Oh, wait, no, that's not right then, because it's saying the same thing for that.
Yeah, this is the post you made when it was like, I wrote it down. You were like, these two photos mark the beginning of two different eras, the official live stream of Blackstone and the first meeting.
Yeah, I think that might be Chris's. I don't think that photo is on my page. Oh, it might be.
So it's probably like the year before that, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. And so I would say I think I was 19, 20. Yeah.
So he gives you this contract and he's like, sign this?
He didn't say sign it. He was just like, I have a label, da-da-da-da. I want to be a part of Blackstone, da-da-da. And then me and Chris were like, okay, let's do it. Like, this is dope. And then we did the music videos in LA. I was turning 20, I think. I was turning 20. It's funny because I celebrated my birthday at one of my video shoots, and I celebrated it with the background cast and all that stuff.
In LA?
In LA,
Which video was that?
Vivian.
Pull that up, Karen.
I think it was Vivian. It was either it was Vivian or Heavy Heart. One or the other. But that was really dope. I celebrated my birthday there and did my birthday to 3 of those songs, and it was really, really cool. Or did my birthday to 3 of those songs and music videos.
You just mute it. So this is in LA right here.
Yeah, this is in LA 3 years ago. So I was 20, yeah. So I turned 20 when these music videos came out. Yeah. And this is about drug addiction. So she's about to like take a needle into her arm. I don't know if you're allowed to like show that. I don't know. But
You actually showed it on here?
Oh yeah, she's like, I think she's like doing it. The song is about drug addiction. So
play the song low in the back.
It was a really fun song. It was a freestyled song. Like I said.
So this actually dropped under Airwave then?
Yeah. So Blackstone dropped under Airwave. All
right, mute that.
But yeah, Blackstone dropped under Airwave. And then I did the
Who was shooting these videos for you in LA?
Riley Robbins, I think his name.
That's somebody from out there, or?
Yeah, he was the director of these 3 videos, and he's done like Nike commercials and stuff. He's really cool guy. Dope. Very, very creative guy. I like his mindset a lot. He was really dope. Easy to work with.
Was this in downtown LA?
Maybe.
Oh, downtown LA is like a shit show from what I hear now. Because I've been going to LA since like 2018. I've probably been like 5 times now. And it's like every time I go, it gets progressively worse and worse. It's like more crime, more drugs, more like homeless people.
Yeah.
Now it's like burning down.
Yeah.
They think they just had like the worst fire they ever had.
It's all really bad.
So you signed to Airwave. I guess like were your parents there with you? Like, did you like read over the contract? What was the?
No, it was just me and my manager, Chris, all the way through.
Is like a certain number of albums? Like what does the contract look like between you guys?
It wasn't even a big contract. I think it was only like 1 or 2 albums maybe. And that was really it. It was like 1 paper and it wasn't that big. It was just more so like me just being signed to them.
What was the support like from Airwave for this Blackstone project? Like, did they help? Did they give you a budget to do the videos? Did they help with marketing? Like, what was that like?
So the budgeting for the videos was where most of the money went to. Unfortunately, the marketing could have been better, but I feel like this was all fairly new to everyone because
including Airwave.
Airwave was a new label at the time. And on top of that, the team wasn't big. It was only like maybe 5 people like running all of Airwave.
The whole label.
Yeah. So it wasn't like an extravagant label, you know what I mean? And with like millions and millions of dollars.
Did you get an advance though?
I did. It wasn't a lot, but I did get it.
Push cut a little check. Okay. Let me say you push a C. What do you say? Okay.
But yeah, no. But like I said, it was so dope though. Like I said, it was a time in my life where I wish that I had soaked it all in. Like the music videos, I remember them, but I don't remember them. You know what I mean? Like I remember shooting them, but I don't remember the day. I
can get that. I think that's normal too. Like I feel that way too. I think that happens when you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I have an episode every week, multiple episodes every week sometimes, and it can be hard to keep everything in your mind. Like a lot of times I'll do something and just like kind of move on to the next thing. Yeah. I don't really. I guess we go through that too. Like I don't really allow myself to feel like super accomplished because I'm kind of just like going to the next thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like how I was moving. And yeah, so I was really, really happy about those. I mean, those are my most popular music videos, you know? So it was really fun doing that. It was an experience.
So yeah, Heavy Heart, right?
All of it. Heavy Heart, Vivian, and Life for Me.
No, it's called Heavy Heart.
Oh yeah, the song,
you said that was Push's favorite song. I was listening to that earlier too. She was talking about like, she was like, I was in school. She was like,
God.
She was like, I have no titties, no ass. I was like, wait, what?
I hate that line so much.
And she also referenced her wrists and like not to like sound fucked up, but I thought you were talking about like cuts on your wrist.
Yeah,
that's what I thought when you said it in the song.
Yeah. No, but I kind of made that vague because I kind of like wanted to reference that too in a way, because I did used to do that, but it wasn't on my wrist. It was like on my arms, like more up here. So I was like very vague on it, but I was just mostly insecure about my wrists because they were so skinny. And I would get told a lot every time that people would see my wrists in school, they would tell me how skinny I am and how I need to eat more. And like that like always triggered me. And I never like ever it feels like in my mind it happened every time that like my wrists were exposed. But it probably was just like 2 or 3 times that someone had said it. And it's like, okay, I get it, I'm skinny, whatever. But it was like in my mind, it was like every time I wear a shirt, every time I wear this, I'm getting told this, I'm getting told that. And that's like, and my mind was just like, stop wearing that. Only wear this forever. So yeah.
You just put on the like NBA wristbands. Just wear NBA wristbands everywhere. That's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of people that are gonna relate to that.
Oh
okay,
my God,
so
please don't say that line again, because I actually
won't,
didn't
I
even want that song out. I didn't even want that song out.
You said, well, I wrote it down. You said that was one of your greatest singles. Heavy Heart.
It was one of my greatest
singles. In the
most.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I said that I believed in it?
Maybe you were referencing that Push said that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I said that Push loved Heavy Heart a lot.
Yeah.
I said this before. I appreciate Heavy Heart. I appreciate that it's helped a lot of people, especially a lot of girls. Like, I've had a lot of women come up to me telling me that their daughters listen to the songs and relate to it deeply, especially like going in school and stuff like that and dealing with their own insecurities. Like really, really dealing with all of that helped me appreciate it. But I just wish I didn't say that line. Like, I wish I could go back in time.
Drop the remix.
And rewrite that bitch. Cause in my mind, I was being truthful and I was being honest. Like, I ain't had no ass or titties to bounce them bitches up and down.
Yeah,
and now it's like,
yeah.
Ew. Why did I say that?
That's hilarious. It's funny it's crazy how all these older women are discovering your music too. Like you said, Push's wife was the reason that he tapped in with you. Okay, so you guys dropped this project, Blackstone. I want to say Kyrie 1K may have been the first artist under Airwave. I think you might have been the second. What's happening with Airwave right now? Because we haven't heard from them in a long time.
I cannot tell you.
And also, like, I've said this on the pod multiple times, but Push trying to start Airwave is what made me realize like how hard it is to build a brand. Yeah. Because like even coming from Pusha T, that's a superstar. He has a big name, but like even him, like he still has to work to build Airwave like brick by brick. It's not just like I'm Pusha T, here's my label, now everybody on it is a superstar. Like it's still like you guys still have to put in the work.
Yeah. What was the question?
The question was, what's up with Airwave right now?
Oh yeah, no, I can't tell you. Cause when I was done with the Airwave contract, I signed to DefJam, and then I'm out of DefJam now. So now I'm just an independent artist.
Wait, so your contract finished with Airwave and you signed a new one with DefJam? Is Airwave under DefJam?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I signed a distribution deal with DefJam.
Did Airwave help you set that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Push was still my boss. I was still, yeah. Then I worked with DefJam, or signed a DefJam, did a distribution deal with them. And then... What
stuff did you distribute with them?
Nothing. Nothing came out.
How come? Their decision or yours?
It was just like... Everyone had a different vision for me. Everyone had a different sound and where they wanted me to go. And nobody could agree. And I didn't agree with a lot, and vice versa. And I feel like we all wanted something different. And I feel like we had a goal. Blow Shaolinn up. Let's get Shaolinn out there. That was the goal. But it was how they wanted to do it. And for me, I feel like it wasn't my vision. I didn't want to do it.
What does that feel like? Like most people, you start making music, it's this like personal thing. For you, it seems like ultra personal because it's part of what built your confidence after you're going through this stuff at a young age.
For sure.
But now you have like all these hands in the pot. And like, how does that feel like having a vision and like it having to align with like these other people's?
It frustrated me more than anything because I didn't understand why it had to be so difficult. I didn't understand why it was so wrong for me to be like, I don't like this. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of independent artists, when they sign to labels, they definitely, it's either, there's no in the middle. It's either you have a really good time with your label,
or you hate it.
Or you hate it and you have a really bad time. And sometimes it can be in the middle. I did enjoy some aspects. I also didn't enjoy some aspects. I felt like things could have been better. Because like I said, we all had different visions and it just didn't work. And I feel like when I was getting to a point to where I was getting so frustrated, it was just kind of like making me feel like, okay, I would much rather just be independent again than to do this, you know? Because like you said, having so many people with their hands in the pot, like telling you, you know, this is the right way, or you should do this, or whatever. In your mind, you feel it kind of inside, like, is this right for me?
It's probably like in one hand you want to like listen to them because you feel like they're like successful in this industry. They've seen it all.
Yep.
But at the same time, I mean, they're basing their information on previous artists. And I would say that no artist has the same journey.
Yeah.
And you being yourself and having creative control is what got you to them.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do they want to stop that? Like, I don't know. I always found that weird.
Yeah. It like I said, it was very...
Because the people could tell. When you're not being authentic, like if you're a signed artist and you're like, the label writes the music, they pick everything for you, they tell you what to say, what to wear, what to do. Like, I feel like that translates to the audience. Like, we can tell that's not you.
And I promise y'all, like, y'all probably would have, like, saw. If it was, like, being executed, y'all would tell that, like, the vision is different now. You know what I mean?
So is that why you stopped putting music out in 2022? Because of like this not being able to get on the same page with DefJam at that time?
Yeah, it was just not being able to be on the same page. And like I said, I was like overly frustrated and being told so many things and wanting so many things and different things happening. Me and my manager, we were just kind of like, I think it's just better if we just, you know, go independent again. And I agreed. So I just kind of went on a hiatus for 2-3 years. And some of it maybe was my choice. Some of it maybe wasn't my choice. Some of it took a lot longer than I wanted it to. But at the end of the day, everything is at the right time. And I feel like I'm much happier and more excited to put out music as an independent artist now versus with a label.
You don't even really need a label these days.
Yeah, you don't. You just need content.
You need content. It's about timing. It's about authenticity. It's about being unique. There's really no formula. That's the thing about this industry. Like all creative stuff, music, podcasting, whatever you're doing online, some type of content. Like that's the exciting part, but that's also the scary part. Like there is no formula. There is no path for you to walk on. Like you were literally like the path you're walking on, you're placing the steps down as you walk. Yeah. Like there's no path there.
Yeah. That's actually a good way of putting that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, but it's frustrating sometimes, like you say.
Yeah, it is.
So this was so you took a little hiatus after that, and that was kind of leading into like today.
It's today, yeah.
You're kind of still on that hiatus. Like you've been performing. Like I've been to one of your shows recently.
I'm actually putting out a new single in April.
Talk about it.
I'm excited for it. It's called Unaware. I'm working towards an album, my first album ever. And I'm not gonna tell you the name of the album. I love the concept of it though. It's more me. I'm going to talk about these last 2-3 years and what I was experiencing with music, with friendships, even with a relationship that I was in for 2 years. All of those feelings are gonna be combined into that album. And I'm very happy about this because this is something that I have been working on a lot and very hard with my two friends, Michael and John, Seven Michael and Mr. Keesley. But it's literally just us two, us three. And I wrote to it and they produced it and it's me. It's all me. And I'm excited for it because nobody can tell me no.
Drop it independently.
Yeah.
Are both of those guys from the 757?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Seven.
Is Ronan still your manager?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris is still my manager.
I did a podcast with, I don't know if you've seen it, with Ronan and Liquid. It was like,
I did not.
it was like 2 years ago, right?
Wow.
It was pretty fire
you
one.
did?
Yeah.
You liked them?
Yeah, they're
Were they
cool.
cool?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool guys. I've seen them out a few times after that. I saw them at your show. What's the place next to Peabody's
The
called?
Bunker.
You performed there, I think.
And when I told the guy to shut up, or when I was like,
I don't know
if
if it
y'all
was,
are gonna talk,
I can't remember that. Maybe I wasn't there.
you were with your
I don't
girl.
remember. Okay, was that where Shan performed too?
Yeah.
I don't remember you telling somebody to shut up.
Yeah,
though.
because I was like, can y'all stop talking? And then I was like, if you're gonna talk, you can leave.
Oh, yeah, this episode right here too. I don't remember that. Is that the one where they like Q5 had went on stage and was talking about his seizure and all that? Yeah, I don't remember you telling somebody to shut up, but that's kind of hilarious. But this episode, yeah, just go to the middle of it, just to see a picture from it.
Wow, it's crazy.
Ronan, what was this? 2022 or 21?
23.
23.
Oh, this is last year. Last year. What is it?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is
This is
2025.
I think on this episode I didn't say much. I was just
Jesus.
listening. Like they're actually very knowledgeable on the music industry. Like
they are.
they taught me a lot on this.
Especially Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is a genius.
Yeah, that's when I had my old laptop. Like, yeah, it was cool. I had the couches flipped around. It took me like doing the podcast for like 3 years to realize, because I used to have that
small
couch on this side.
And you was sitting
And I was
on
like,
the-
why do I have the big couch? Like, why don't I? Sometimes we have multiple guests.
Yeah. You just want me sitting next to you while we
I
talk?
don't even know, I guess. I actually don't like that with podcasts, like in like interviews and stuff, when it'll be the two people, like it'd be like, it's like if you were sitting right here and we were talking, but we were both looking at the camera. I feel like it's just less personal. Like,
Yeah.
like this makes
I would
more
probably
sense.
just be like this. I would
Yeah,
just
it's
lean and
kinda
look at you.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new album is dropping in April.
No, the single
The single is in April.
is dropping in April.
The
I'm
album is
putting out
like this year, though, right?
Probably not. It's probably gonna
Oh,
be
wow.
next year because
Okay.
I'm dropping 3 singles this year. I'm actually dropping this year. I've been telling everyone for the last 3 years that I was dropping.
Okay.
Everybody was like, "When you dropping? Oh, it's gonna be this year." No, deaded. No, couldn't drop. Sorry, y'all. But like now, it's dropping. It's coming. First single. It's called Unaware. It's in April, mid-April. Don't have a specific date, but it's gonna be around April. We're shooting for April 11th,
Okay.
but we already did the video shoot for it on Friday.
Are you paying attention to, I ask like a majority of artists this question too, but are you paying attention to like social media and how music is blowing up these days?
Yeah.
And like, are you incorporating that into your marketing? Like, what do you?
I'm going to start doing that. I was never good at that, but that was because, like I said, I was signed to labels when I was doing Blackstone. Blackstone was like putting myself out to the world, like, hey, this is Shaolinn. You know
But
what I mean?
that was 2021. Even just from 2021 to now, I feel like the game has changed so
yeah,
much.
yeah. And even then, it's like, yeah, it's just more so just trying to find, not even just trying to find, just being disciplined. Because I feel like that's what I lack. Like, I could do the content, I can do the ideas. I have a lot of ideas, but it's about making a schedule and sticking to it. And that's something that I'm not good at doing when it comes to making content for my music.
That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because like I have a bunch of ideas and stuff like that I want to do too. But sometimes you can have too many ideas and like never actually complete them. So like having a schedule, like even just having a schedule with like guests, like I'm kind of booked out pretty far. But it's just like something that it's like, you know how sometimes you go through periods where you feel less motivated and less inspired. But if you have a schedule and it's like, okay, like I got to go to the studio session today. It's like it just starts to feel like something like it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And like if you follow the schedule, like usually that inspiration will like kind of find its way back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great. I really have just like two questions left. Two final
you're
questions. I remember when we booked this, you were like, let's do it in around March because you were going to do something with the Grammys. And I know you're on the Grammy, like you're a Grammy voting member.
Uh-huh.
Did you go to the
Recording
Grammys?
Academy member. No,
This
and
year?
what sucked is that they actually ended it this year
What?
for the Recording Academy members because before the members were allowed to go to like the Grammys after parties and stuff like that, and we were allowed to like go to like the side events or whatever.
But they cut it out?
They cut it out completely this year.
Why?
Why the year when I start to do that shit, they want to say nope, y'all can't come. I was so excited. I was being told by so many I was talking to a whole bunch of artists that are part of the Recording Academy. We were all talking about like how we're so excited and how we're all gonna be there together, like at the after parties and the events. And then they were like, "Oh no, we're doing it differently this year. Y'all can't come. Sorry. Like this is more exclusive now."
I wonder why. Can we Google that?
So I'm just like,
Type in why. What do we even type in for that? Why did the Grammy? What is it? The Grammy Recording Academy?
Yeah.
Type in Grammy Recording Academy members can't attend Grammy after parties, maybe? What are you saying about that? Okay, Recording Academy to stop giving complimentary after party tickets to Grammy nominees. Well, this is nominees.
Oh, what? Yeah, I don't
If
know.
I'm a Grammy nominee and I don't get a ticket, that's crazy. Like, what do you mean?
So nominees
what?
couldn't even get tickets, and they were telling us like, "Oh, none of y'all can come."
Like were they saying you had to buy a ticket or you just can't
yeah,
go,
they said
period?
the only way that we can go to the after parties is if we actually attend the Grammys. Like we have to buy like the $1,000 fucking Grammy ticket, and even if we did buy the ticket, we would be all the way in the back of the section of the Grammys.
That's crazy. So the people who vote and the nominees don't get it. That's actually insane.
So I still got to vote.
The Grammys hurting right now.
Yeah, they are.
They need money.
Yeah, I got to vote, but that's probably why they canceled it, because, but I got to vote.
I'm trying to think what happened at the Grammys this year. I don't even think it was that big. Like, what happened this year? What was a big moment from the Grammys? I can't remember anything about the Grammys. It was just last month.
The artist winning.
Oh, wait, is this the one where Shabuzi won and stuff?
When Beyonce won Cowboy Carter as album of the year, that was like the biggest thing.
That was, okay, yeah.
Because people were pissed that she won.
Oh, okay, that's what happened. I think Shabuzi was there. Beyonce did the...
Remember last year, Killer Mike won Best Rap.
Yeah, Killer Mike won.
And people were pissed at that. Yeah.
That's weird. Also, I always thought that like Grammys were like bought, which people still say that, but we've had a few Grammy like members of the Recording Academy up here, and from what they tell me, like the people that vote on the Grammys, they're actually some type of creatives. They're usually musicians themselves, or like they do something creative, and they just genuinely vote.
Oh yeah,
So it's not like a thing that like somebody's calling you and like, yo, I'm paying you to vote for this person.
No, in order to be a Recording Academy member, you have to have 3 people of status vote for you. Okay. So for me, I don't remember off the top the third. I just remembered 2. I know Teezy voted for me, and she's like a local artist.
We got Teezy up here.
Yeah, Teezy's dope.
That's her name. Teezy's so dope.
Yeah,
actually,
she's dope. And then Keisha, I think her name is. She's like a Canadian pop star. She voted for me too. And then I think a third. I don't know who the third other person was, and I feel bad because I should remember. But you have to have like a certain. You have to have the people have status that vote for you, and then you have to have kind of like a level of like status and like exposure as well. So like for me, I was signed to DefJam, did the stuff at Revolt and everything. have like good streams on Spotify, like good streams for a local artist, you know. And it was just kind of like that. So I was eligible to apply to be a member.
for sure.
And then they picked me and I got chosen for 2024.
Okay.
So that was very cool. And yeah, like they said, like I said, I would like to think my vote matters because I did vote and I'm the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar won Not Like Us, 5 nominations, you know what I mean? Won all of them. I was so happy for him.
The whole time it's just a conspiracy. Like they're all just fake voting. It really is just bought. I don't know.
Imagine I got bought and I'm just lying to you.
Yeah, she's part of the conspiracy. She's really. I was on Twitter earlier. I was like, how many DJs you think are CIA operatives? It's kind of going up. I do feel like there's a lot of content creators and just people in the creative industry that are CIA operatives.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a whole other conversation.
That is. We could talk about conspiracies. I love conspiracies.
Me too. Final question that I have is, I saw that you won like best song of the night during Logic's music review show, which I didn't even
win. I got second place.
got second place, but you got a signed book.
That was cool.
What was the book about?
It was about.
Did you read it?
No. It was about. It was about a robot. It was about something about Earth was being destroyed.
Oh, and didn't he have an album like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like the humans had to like leave Earth and like find a new place to live.
You just looked up the summary?
I read the book.
Oh,
Summary.
Like the front page or the back page?
Oh, you
or
can
some
put
shit?
the video on Instagram. I literally read the summary of the book and I'm like, okay, this is cool.
I'm weak.
And now it's like, you know, it's just on my bookshelf, but like pretty, you know, signed by Logic.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I don't care that I didn't win. I was just happy that he even, like I said, it was just some random thing that Chris did. He was just in his stream. He was like, yeah, I just put your song in because they're doing a competition or something.
Well, it seems like these random things you do pay off. So shout out to Chris.
Yeah, he's very tactical. Yeah, in everything he does. So he's dope. He's really smart. He's cool. Cool guy. Like I said, should just be happening. And it be because of him. He's like the mastermind of it all. And I'm like, okay, the revolt happened because of him. The Airwave, me getting signed to Airwave and DefJam happened because of him and with Push and everything. So, I mean, we started from nothing. Like, you know, I'm just a 17-year-old with a dream and he's just some guy that has some experience with the industry. And I showed him some of my songs and then he took me to a studio for the first time in my life, which was the studio that I met my engineer that I still work with to this day, Terrific. I love him. And then I remember we were driving back home from one of our studio sessions and I looked at him and I said, you know you're my manager now, right? And he was like, he didn't say nothing. I was like, you're my manager now. And he was like, I don't know, like, if I can be, like, I don't know if I'm right, you know? And I was like, you're my manager. And that was it. The rest was history. And we went to Revolt Summit. And then boom, bop, bop. Now we're here.
Come on. Shaolinn, thank you so much. This was amazing. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to leave the people with? Unaware, coming in April. First single off the new album.
I'm Shaolinn. Thank you for having me here. This is really dope. I got nothing to say. I kind of said it all. I just be yapping. And yeah, thank you for listening if y'all listened to the end.
Hell yeah. Excited to see what else you got coming up. Thank you
me
again.
too.
If you guys are watching this, we appreciate you for tuning in. All her links will be in the description. Go stream her music, check her videos out. Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Come on.